is, what, today's the 6th of February? It is warm. It's about warm. It's about 30. We got a wind though. The wind's gonna make it cold. There are cold weather advisories out for tonight. It's supposed to get 25 below. So if we're gonna get 25 below, that means the wind chill is gonna be really, really bad. Well, bad. We'll be inside. It's Friday, so Saturday nobody has to go out tomorrow, except for me. Go on, Ruckus. Good boy. Once we get down into the woods, it'll be a lot less breezy. But that sunshine feels good. Holy smokes. I kind of went light on the top there. I got a long sleeve and my sweater, and now I'm got my Carhartt vest. I was kind of hoping with the sun keep me a little warm. That breeze, that wind's cutting right through, as it usually does. It's cold. God, they're already down there. Holy shit. Yeah, they've been itching to get out. Good. Good, good, good. Oh, here. Rux is pooping right there. Good. Got one pooper. Yeah, it's cold. I should have put on my other jacket. Oh. That just means I gotta move faster. So, over here, let's talk Palantir. PLTR. We've lost. Yeah, at one point in my career, I lost in the last 3 or 4 days. Let's just say last week. This week I've lost more than I've made some years of my work in my life. Yeah, that's crazy. But one of them, actually both of them, I have Palantir. I have 200 shares that are into Leaps, both of them, which are option contracts for calls. They don't expire until December of this year. So I got all year of time, which is, called theta, ETA, theta, time decay. That is on my side. It's not on my side as much as Palantir's price is going down. It is still on my side nonetheless. It's not an equal 1-to-1. It's about 3/4. Yeah, maybe less than that, maybe 2/3 to $1 a Palantir. 66 to 75 cents of my option contracts. It's hard to explain. Well, it's hard to explain because I don't really fully understand the mechanism and how it works. I understand the concept. I understand when, but why. The only other thing I don't understand yet is the how. You know, the reasoning behind the why. But with Palantir, I have 2 contracts for, they're at 185 for the September call. The Palantir sitting around 160, 165. I was alright. Not really that nervous. Once Palantir started to drop toward lower 150s, 140s, it's like, oh shit. And then, with the opposite of that happening, my option contracts became more valuable. Again, we're talking to 2/3 to 1. So with that value in my 185 calls for September of 26, I rolled them up and out. What I did is I initially bought them back, and then I resold it for $200 for December 26, 12/26. So what's going to happen now is that I'm hoping that Palantir shoots past 200 by December. No, I don't. I hope my contract expires worthless. I hope it doesn't hit 200, so I'm able to have those contracts expire worthless, but I still keep the shares, my 200 shares. So, let's see. Let's talk about premium. When I rolled it up and I rolled it out, I'm assuming you know about strike price and expiration. I'm not going to get into that. But, rolled it up and out, I got paid $800 something in premium for the September, October, November, December 3 months that I bought. Well, I sold. I didn't buy it, I sold it. So I got paid $800. I'm alright with that. For a couple extra months. That's alright, I'd do that. Get some more theta. And the important thing is I raised my strike price to 200 from 185. And I got paid. So there's 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, Palantir on December 18th, I think it is, of 2026, late this year. If the contracts, if the stock price of Palantir is not above 200, my call options expire worthless, which means I don't owe anything, and I keep all the money that I was paid as a premium. That's all mine. Oh, that's mine anyways. I don't get that back. So, what we do after that, we turn right around the very next day. We write 2 more option contracts and collect premium on that. Now we do what we've just done, except instead of going leaps, we'll go month to month, 60 days, 60 days. I don't mind the leaps. I understand leaps. Alright. I like to be a little more hands-on more often. Okay. Oh, there. Go on. Go on, Ruckus. So, and then option 2 is that the strike price for Palantir goes up to whatever, 201. So therefore, my calls for December will get called away. Somebody will buy those for my $200 that I want for them. I'm offering anybody to buy my shares for $200. If they want to buy them, they usually will. They'll exercise that contract and those shares will become theirs, but they will pay me $200 per contract. I have 200 contracts, so that's $4,000. So those are worth to me right now, not a lot. But back in December, they're going to be worth $4,000 if they get sold. I paid $160, I think, a share price. So I paid. Oh, no. I get paid $400 per share. That's $16,000 because I have 2 contracts. So if you go 100 times 400, 4 times 1 is 4. You have the 100. Well, let's do this. I got 200 shares. I sell them at 200. There's 4 zeros, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's $40,000. So I will have paid $32,000 for all my Palantir shares right now. I have 165 base price. 200 shares. That's 340,000. 34,000, right? I paid $34,000 for my shares, and when they get sold for 200, they're going to be worth $40,000. Come on. So that will give me a profit of $8,000. All right with that. I smell 2-stroke. That means sleds are here. Here, boy, Mac. We're turning around. Sleds are out, boys. Sorry. I should have known today's Friday. I got to start talking stocks. So if they get called away at 200, I make a nice profit. I'm alright with that. If they expire worthless, I gotta turn around and keep doing leaps. Keep doing option contracts. I'm definitely alright with that. If I were to own the Palantir shares and no call options, I'd be screwed pretty big. I was at 140, I would have lost $4,000 so far in value. But I may lose value, but I will always have the number of shares. I will always have those 200 shares of Palantir. May lose value, that is true. But I will never lose those shares as long as I own them. As long as I don't sell. Those are mine. So that was Palantir. Now we're going to go into the deep dive and talk about PLTY. It's an underlying ETF through YieldMax that follows PLTR, Palantir. What this ETF does, it pays you. It's an income generator. It pays you a dividend every week for owning those shares. I own 182 something of PLTY Platy. I call it Platy. PLTY Platy. They have paid me consistently 35 cents a share every week. That is $140, $145. So they paid me $145. I drip dividend reimbursement incentive program. Instead of that money coming to me, that money, well, it comes to me, but I don't see it. It goes straight to my brokerage account. and it gets folded back in to PLTY, and it buys more at that price. Right now, Pleiades is at a low $40 a share. 43 last time I checked. That's good for me. That means my 143 is going to go an extra $60 more, which will buy me an extra share compared to when the stock price was in the 60s. So I got 300 shares. Actually, that's going to buy me a good number of shares this week. But again, it's a week, and it does it every week. So this month, January, I've collected, or actually I'll go home and I'll do the math, but just doing it from the top of my head, I've gained 12 shares of Pleiades. I'm assuming 3 every week. I think there was a 1 week, the 1st of January, I think was a good week. That bought me 14 shares, but we'll, anyway, getting off target. What that does, that pays me $145 today, Friday. Every Friday I get paid from PL2Y Yield Max. They pay me to have my money. They pay me to own my shares. They pay me when I'm sleeping. They pay me when I'm at work. I'm not doing anything. I'm getting paid. That is called 100% passive fucking income. If you can have more passive income than more earned income, my friend, you are doing life right. That is how you get retired. Go. That is how you get retired. You have your money working for you. And this is just the start of how I want my money to work for me. I have been interested in money for, well, since I had a business class back in mid-90s. Wow, it's been that long. 30 years ago. So yeah, I've been interested in, also Google had their IPO, because that was a big event that I missed. Wow, that could have been. Remember Google was coming out with a Dutch IPO back in the mid-90s. I wanted to, well, the class was looking at it, and that was when Gmail was coming out, and I really liked Google. I liked Gmail. I wasn't 100%. Now, this is back in the 90s when everything is brand new, so we're still kind of touchy-feely around the internet and stuff. Let's see, we still had cell phones that didn't have a screen to them. But, yeah, Pleiades is my passive income. I own 399 shares, like I said, 0.18 something, or 19 something. Those shares will never go away. I own those shares until the day I sell them. That is my passive income. Every week, that will buy itself. That is what is called compounding, a factor of compounding interest. Every week, it just keeps building and building and building. Eventually, which it is now on a tiny scale, it is making itself bigger, like a snowball. Oh, perfect. So this was my initial investment. Every week I add this to that. After a while, this is going to become big. And so not only will I have the initial investment, but I'll also have my initial dividends plus more, because I will have more shares, a higher number. So my dividends will be more per every share I get paid. So eventually, this will become so large that with all the dividends, I will stop putting that into this. I will take all this bring this out to me in the form of cha-ching cash money. I will live off that. One thing that my wife and I are I'm talking about is moving to Uruguay, because I can't retire here in the States on what I make. We have to. A good boy! A good boy! Get him, Ruckus! Get him! So the dogs are starting to, as you can see. So I want to get some of this on video. What's up, Ruckus? Get it, Ruckus. So that's my YouTube, getting those guys on the YouTubes. But yeah, I use ChatGPT to back me up with my stocks, and it doesn't make decisions for me. It just gives me reasoning and helps me see things that I might have missed, because I am new at this. I do miss a lot. I have lost more money than I have made, I will admit that. But that's the learning curve. That's what that's called. It's an expensive lesson. We got a new tree down over there. All leaner. Not like that big guy. Well, yeah, it's about the same size. I'm not going to go look at it now, but I don't want to. I don't want to go in these woods with the wind the way it is. I know this trail, there's nothing above us that's going to fall. So I don't have any problem riding the trail. But yeah, PL2I Pleiades. Let's go back to that. That is my passive income. That will buy my $145 I get a week. Will buy my food in Uruguay for a week. I think that'll be more than a week. People are saying 80 bucks a week in food in Uruguay, Montevideo, is a lot. That means that you're whoa, almost fell. That means that you're eating well if you're spending 90 to 100 bucks on food. Local food, fresh meat, fresh produce, a lot of fresh fruit, of course. Yeah, food's pretty inexpensive. Life is inexpensive down there. And the best part is, you don't really understand. I know we're caveating into something else, but you don't understand how inexpensive it is to live somewhere else until you start putting it on paper. And you realize, I don't need a vehicle. I can walk in or take an Uber. So I don't have to pay for the car. I don't have to pay for the insurance. I don't have to pay for the upkeep. Okay, so let's look at the housing situation. We can buy a nice 2-bedroom house on 3 acres for about 90 grand. The house that we have now, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, way too big for us, 1,700 square feet on 3 acres. It's worth 300 and, what are we at, 340, 350, last time I checked Zillow. Once you pay off all our mortgages and land loan and credit cards and what have you, we can be in Montevideo. We can be there. Or Cotacachi. It's either Montevideo or it's Cotacachi. Those are 2 different states. countries, Ecuador or Uruguay. Excuse me. But that's what my passive income's going to be. That will be 40 of my life in Uruguay, or wherever we decide to put our roots down. Like I said, I can't retire here in the States. It's so gorgeous. If it wasn't windy as shit, I'd track down there, but my back's a little sore. I'm tired. I don't think I have any coffee brewing, so I'm screwed on that front, but that's alright. So, back to socks. Lady. If there's all kinds of ifs with these socks, but the key thing that I have with Palantir, and remember, Plady, PLTY, is following Palantir. It goes up, Palantir, or if Palantir goes up, Plady goes up. Palantir goes down, Plady goes down 100%. Going back to the 2/3 to 3/4 to 1. We get that when it's going to the upside. We don't capture all the upside 100%. We get about 60%, 55, 60, 70%. But when it falls, when Palantir goes down the stock price, Palantir fell this week. Plady, PLTY, fell 100%, just like they did. Almost. It's not the same amount because they're worth less. Plady is worth less than PLTR. PLTR is trading about 140, 150. Back last week it was about 165, 180, 170, 160. Plady does not capture all the upside, but it does capture all the downside. But you got to remember, we're in this for the long haul. We're not traders anymore. Well, we still are for a couple, but not for Palantir and Plady. And this is what I was going to get to, is that you must remember, and you must, with your own core, every cell in your body. Wow. Not swallow when you're trying to breathe. You got to believe in what you're invested in. I believe in Palantir. I believe in Alex Karp, their goofy ass CEO. The guy with the hair telling people, yelling at people, telling them, don't short my stock, you're going to be upset. Somebody like that has got skin in the game, and he's still telling people that, yeah, we're going to do good. I like that. I like that confidence. That's pretty cocky, pretty arrogant considering your company you're in. Yes, sir. I like that in a pilot.